What's going on, guys? Welcome to the fourth episode now of the 9Trick podcast. I think we're just going to keep that name to it right now. And welcoming my special guest here, Shotty. SSB. SSB? Super Smash Bros? Yeah.
Just Shotty,
Yeah.
or ShottyLive on
ShottyLive
socials.
on all socials. I've known Shotty for a fat minute. Obviously, the trend within the past couple guests has been I've known them back on Mixer, and then I've just known them up until now, really. Shotty, I don't think he ever streamed on Mixer, but he stuck to Twitch, and he would come over to Mixer every once
I
in a
actually
while.
streamed on Mixer
For like a little
for
bit.
like 1 week.
Yeah.
1 week.
Yeah, and it was kind of like a weird time in streaming where like streaming wasn't seeing that much growth, and nobody knew which platform to really try because Mixer was growing, but Twitch was kind of going down, and then they put the Uno reverse card on everything. But Shotty's been one of my inspirations when it comes to Super Smash Bros. Content and Super Smash Bros. Competitive, even though I am absolute shit at that game. He's always the cool guy playing Melee late nights. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Shotty, how are you today?
I'm doing well. Kind of been like a weird holiday into like going back into lockdown over here.
Mm-hmm.
So like,
Kind of sucks.
yeah.
Yeah, for those of you guys...
It's like,
Oh, go ahead.
It just feels weird.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's like back in March where it was like everything shut down, but now we actually have some
Openings?
like hardware stores open. Last time they shut down completely, hardware stores were closed.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, for those of you guys that don't know, stumbling over my words here, Shotty actually lives in Switzerland still, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he lives in fucking Switzerland. So the past two podcasts, I had Apex. I don't know if you know Apex Army TV. He's in the UK. So the past two streams that we've
I
had,
don't think so. No.
the past two podcasts, we've had to like really time these up to the perfect time where he's awake. I don't think he should be awake right now, being that it's like
Actually,
3 a.m.
ever since First Strike, I've been really fucked up on my sleep schedule.
Yeah. Being that everything Valorant is in NA is pretty poppin'. We'll get to Valorant here later, but he's actually in Switzerland. He moved to Switzerland, I believe, a year or two now, right?
August of 2018, so
it's been
like
3 years now. Holy shit.
2.25, 2.5, somewhere around there.
Yeah, and he moved there right after high school, right? Right after
Yeah,
he graduated high school. And
I finished high school. I went on a Europe trip, and then I moved like a week or two after I came back from that Europe trip.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me you went to all those like Germany and shit, right?
Yeah, it was a mess.
Yeah. Pretty cool though. He
But
lives in Switzerland, but he's obviously from NA originally, New Jersey, correct?
Yeah, New Jersey, like right smack dab in the middle, an hour from New York, an hour from Philly.
That's dope. Awesome.
Yeah.
So excuse my camera. It's going to get really bright here just because the sun's setting, but we'll try to get through this quickly. Starting off with our first question originally. If you guys don't know, my podcast is pretty much we have 9 questions or 9 topics that we like to ask Shotty. Hopefully they're somewhat not so prying, but still very informational. With starting off with a softer question, what is your favorite video game of all time? And I think I know the answer.
I know you think I'm going to say Smash. But
It's a but.
I don't know. I love the first Smash 64, first game that I like really got into competitive or into the competitive mindset. But I think my favorite game of all time is actually going to have its sequel in a couple months. Pokemon Snap.
Oh wow, really? I didn't
Yeah,
think
that is the first game I ever played ever.
Wow.
Yeah, so
That's crazy.
It's so good. It's so good.
Well, I'm glad they're making a sequel to it. That's pretty dope. I was
Yeah,
not
it's
expecting
been like
a Pokemon
21
game.
years or 22 or something that it
Crazy.
never got a sequel.
Yeah. I remember playing, I think they ported it to the original DS, or what it was originally on DS, right?
No, it was N64.
Oh, yeah.
And then they put it on the virtual console for Wii, I believe.
Oh, yeah. That was where I remember the port. Definitely.
Yeah.
I remember that was like one of the very first Pokemon games, too. Like to actually become super mainstream when it comes to consoles. like Wii consoles, I guess.
It was like one of the first console games, that and Pokemon Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
For like, other than those two, you didn't have a Pokemon game
On like a
on
DS or Game
console.
Boy.
Yeah.
That's awesome, bro. I
Oh,
would not have
and I
expected.
played a shit ton of like Pokemon Yellow, Pokemon
Mm-hmm.
Red.
Yeah. OG
Yeah.
OGs. Awesome. And that's kind of delving into our next question. Uh, Take me through your past in gaming. Obviously, you're a little older than I am, and I know you've
A little.
probably played a lot more consoles like religiously than I have. You probably started
So
when?
my history with gaming, it's like I grew up with a sister 10 years older than me.
Mm-hmm.
So like I got the hand me down console of like N64, uh the Game Boy I would actually take to like elementary school
Nice. As you
and
should.
stuff like that. Yeah. And then I skipped GameCube cuz like I wasn't old enough to have my own consoles. My sister was getting out of gaming.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like a gray area for me. And then I got my Wii, I got my DS, and then ever since that, I think I did the Xbox 360 too, and then carried on with that as well.
Nice. Yeah.
And as far as games growing up, I was really into like Pokemon, Smash. Once I got my Xbox, I was into like the WWE games,
Mm-hmm.
and then I got my first Call of Duty was like Modern Warfare 3. I got that a
I was
couple
about
months
to say
after it
Modern Warfare
released.
3. It's
Yeah.
like that one staple Call of Duty every 360 player had.
Dude, it was so good too. I think that and Black Ops 2 were the
Mm-hmm.
only Call of Duty games I was good at.
Yeah. They came out back to back years, so
Yeah.
perfect timing. Yeah, I was gonna say you're. I know you've other than like Smash and like Pokemon games. I know you're an FGC kind of guy. Have you ever dabbled in like Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter
I owned Mortal Kombat X when that
when
got
that dropped?
released,
Yeah.
but yeah, I could never like get up to speed in those kinds of games. I've been ever since quarantine, I found Street Fighter 5 on sale. I got it for like
Mm-hmm.
$8
Wow.
on Steam, and I've been playing that, and I love that game. I'm starting to see if I want to go into that more serious, but
Definitely. You
yeah,
never know really with Street Fighter. Yeah. FGC games like other than Smash are like they're kind of weird in like compared to Smash games. Like Smash games, you know that you can press like 5 or 6 buttons and like you pretty much can like combo your way out of the 5 to 6 buttons. When you play Mortal Kombat, you have to press all 4 D-pads, combo that shit with an A, B, X, Y, triggers, bumpers, movement. And it's like, I mean, they're
I feel
fun,
like
but
the
Smash is like,
execution
mm-hmm,
in standard fighting games is harder, but the decision making is way harder in
exactly.
platform fighters.
Yeah, definitely. Smash is like a big brain game compared to, I feel like regular like Street Fighter and especially Mortal Kombat. It's more like zoning. Like you really have
Yeah,
to be worried about your zoning, compared to Smash, where like if you're not right in front of somebody or right above them, you're not gonna hit them. So.
yeah. I feel like that's changed a lot since
Mm-hmm.
Melee. Like in Ultimate, almost every character has a projectile. It
Yeah,
feels.
definitely with the newer ones, especially Ultimate. I definitely understand where you're going with that. So yeah,
Yeah.
and then I don't know if your esports career kind of started when it came to moving to Switzerland, or was that something you dabbled in a little bit back home?
So it started with Smash, and it started in New Jersey, but it was like 2014 or 2015. I got Smash 4 for the 3DS, which got me playing on the school bus on the way
Mm-hmm.
to middle school, or yeah, middle school. That's when it came out. And then one of my great friends was like, "Hey, if you want to play Smash at my place one day, come over." And he had Melee,
Mm-hmm.
and it was Melee that like really started my competitive drive. I went to Melee tournaments with him. I started playing Project M at the time. Now it's Project Plus.
Yeah.
And yeah, those are probably my favorite games to play. Like
Nice.
in the sense of like tournaments and
Esports.
that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Definitely. And you even got, I don't know if you just like asked or got recruited by Sway. I don't know if you want to talk about them, but
Oh,
uh,
Sway. I I was I knew Sway like months before I got signed because of Rocket League. I also love Rocket
mhm.
League. It's an interesting game to watch, but I could never get in. I can never get into the competitive like playing of it.
Yeah, the mechanics about it are
And
just weird.
it's so weird. And I met up with a guy named Pop Knop.
Mhm.
He's from the UK, and he told me about Sway. So I followed the Sway Discord, and then one day I saw, oh, they're looking for Smash players. So I just signed up to do it. Got in, and then months later, the team manager quit. So I stepped up to that role.
Oh, nice. So how long
Yeah,
were you in Sway for?
I was in Sway for a year, and then I left.
Oh yeah,
I
I remember
just
that. I think you left like this earlier this year.
yeah, I left
Mhm.
back in October. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been a few months since I left. They're great. They're a great organization. I just felt like by that time the what I was putting in, I wasn't getting back. So I was like,
Mhm.
it's not worth my time to be with an org right now. So
Definitely.
goodbye.
Yeah, I definitely like ever since I've met you, I've always known that you have like that leadership kind of vibe to you, like the background guy doing all the cool shit or at least setting up all the cool shit and just letting everybody else do that. But I can definitely
Yeah.
understand how that kind of like backfires for you sometimes. You do too much and they are not really either one appreciative, two like they can even like, take advantage of your opportunities that you're giving them, or three it's just like
Oh, that that happened in my high school job too. That kind
mhm.
of shit. I was a taekwondo instructor, and honestly, I was the only person they called if someone came sick. I would get like maybe an hour's notice, like, "Hey, you need to come in," and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, oof.
Definitely. Yeah. And see, even in real life, you were fighting bitches out left and right, fucking folding
Mm.
hose. That's pretty freaking
Yeah,
dope.
I think that's why fighting games like come so naturally. I knew a lot of taekwondo stuff in it, and a lot of strategy from that
Mhm.
works perfectly in fighting games, of course.
Definitely, definitely. Yeah, I was in karate too. I got a black belt in kempo. I don't really
Ooh.
do that too much anymore. It was like I think I graduated and got my black belt. They put me in super early, so I graduated in 6th grade. So it's been like almost 6 years since I even touched
Yeah. I
somewhere
was in like
near fighting.
second grade, and I did like a taekwondo program with the Y,
Mhm.
and and then years later, I see that instructor go into my local deli, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we're opening up a studio like right down the block. You wanna, if you want, you can come and start practicing again." And
Mhm.
then a year or two passed. I got into high school. I'm like, I need to do something,
Yeah.
and I signed up, and history is history.
That's awesome, bro. Yeah, it's good to at least have something sports wise. I know a lot of people are like, martial arts isn't really a sport, and I'm like, it definitely is. You're in it over your head. Anyway,
I yeah.
yeah, some people are crazy. Anyway, moving on to our next topic. Obviously, since leaving Sway, and even while you were in Sway, you were definitely a content creator in your own right. You're definitely one of the bigger content creators that I've ever known, just because you've been doing this for so long. Um, how is streaming in the EU? Because I know here in the NA, obviously, you stream, and there's like X number of streamers here in the United States, but we all speak at least English and maybe an extra language compared to the EU, where you stream in Switzerland, where the surrounding countries are like France, Germany, Belgium, and all those different languages. So how do you fare as a streamer in the EU as an English speaker? I know you can't speak like different languages, right?
Yeah, I speak German a
Yeah.
bit. Yeah, but I have to say I'm blessed in Switzerland. Here we have 4 national languages. Uh, English is spoken like in 90% of like the streamers I know over here,
Oh,
like in their
nice.
streams. More people know English than the 4th national language here,
Which is
Romansh.
I I I don't even know what that is.
Yeah,
It must be like the
it's a very old
native.
language,
It must be the
very
native
old.
tongue, yeah.
I wouldn't quite say it's native tongue, but or of course it's a native tongue. People had to have spoken it natively at one point,
Mhm.
but like
It's kind of fizzled out.
it, yeah, it's like Latin except spoken even less.
Oh
Oh,
wow. That's
yeah,
crazy.
it's spoken even less at the time it was made, and at the time it's been like getting phased out.
That's awesome. So you, obviously a lot of English speaking, which is good for growth in general. Um, and generally English is becoming like a super big language almost throughout the entire world, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I feel like though in Europe when you're streaming, there's like little pockets. So you'll
Mhm.
have the English speaking streamers where it's like mostly UK or like people in the countries that are like, "Oh, I want a US audience as
Mhm.
well." So the only way I can get them
It's
is
by
by
speaking
speaking
English.
English.
Yeah.
So, but then you have like the big Spanish streamers and the
Mhm.
big
German
French.
streamers, French streamers too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just a melting pot here of like language speaking and having their own tight knit community.
Definitely. Yeah. And I know like once you break into like certain uh little pods and stuff like that, you could definitely reap the benefits way more than usual.
Mm. Yeah, I feel like when you have a smaller community, it's a lot easier to be able to at least live off a little.
Mhm.
Whereas like a smaller streamer in America,
It's
they can't really
yeah.
make it out of like not being able not being able to like pay bills with their
Mhm.
stream. Whereas when you're in a smaller community, a lot more people want to help bring them up.
Definitely. Yeah. And that's one of the things I wish, the US would do some more help with, building little stream teams and stuff like that can only take you so far. But it's cool like that the general culture over there is just like helping in general. So, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Moving on to a topic we touched on earlier is Valorant. I know you've picked up Valorant heavily. You hit some of the craziest clips. You post them on Twitter. Everybody likes and retweets them. They're pretty dope. At least I think so. And I know Valorant is kind of a different pathway than your normal pathway. Obviously, your SBMM, stuff like that. Or not SBMM, yeah. Super Smash Bros. And
Say
then first-person shooters.
SBMM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck SBMM, by the way. Anyway. Valorant,
Fuck SBMM?
Super Smash, or no, skill-based
I know.
matchmaking.
I'm joking.
Yeah, I was
I
like
know.
jumping over my words. But Valorant, first-person shooter, very similar to Counter-Strike, which is big in big in EU, still is. But I
Hmm.
know Valorant's become extremely huge in the EU, being just because CS:GO is kind of super saturated. How's your transition to, maybe a primarily Smash stream, maybe to like Valorant mixed in here and there, or even primarily Valorant streams?
I have to say, I haven't been streaming very often because like my computer's been
Yeah,
god awful. I'm gonna be starting streams back up
soon,
next
hopefully.
week. Next week when we're recording this, and I feel like I'm not gonna be streaming Smash at all
Really?
by that time. I think my time with Smash content creation wise, it just feels very boring. I've recorded maybe like 20 videos in the past 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
I've edited maybe 10 of those, and I've uploaded none.
Wow. And I know.
I just never feel like I can get a video that I'm proud of out of Smash anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that extends into streaming. I might play with friends, but like I don't think there's really a time I want to do it alone or do VR arenas or something like that.
Definitely. And I know, for those of you that probably don't know much about like Nintendo and their relationship with Smash community in general, they just really shut down almost all competitive Smash tournaments, and just purely because of licensing and stuff like that. Nintendo has been notorious for absolutely shitting on all their games when it comes to their growth outside of the production that they like naturally give it. They've never supported Super Smash Bros. Tournaments. They've never supported an Evo tournament, and every time that they have, it's been like, oh, here you go, here's $200 for the biggest tournament in the world. So it's all either crowdfunded, it's all like tournament organizers getting sponsors. Just Evo is one of the bigger ones. When it comes to all their tournaments, I know they have the Big House 5. That's the one that got shut down recently. Could be wrong.
The Big House Online.
Big House Online, yeah. And then they even have like the Summit for Smash, which is like I think one of some of the best content for Smash in general. Summit is like the only Summit tournament is Smash that I watch. Like they have Counter-Strike ones, which are cool, and I think maybe Valorant here soon. But every time they had the Summit for Smash, it was like the biggest thing ever. They had all the OGs, all the fucking legends in there playing the game, and it was fucking dope. But Nintendo comes around and shits on everybody, and it's really hard to make content, to compete, anything, just because Nintendo will literally find you and send you death threats, practically.
Yeah, at this point, I feel like Nintendo having their paw in, like, over the years, people are like, I want Nintendo to step in. I want a league from them and that kind of stuff. I feel like at this point,
it's not worth it.
We need it's not worth it to have Nintendo support, other than the fact that, like, then you can say, oh, they won't shut us down for licensing if we get them to sponsor us. But at the same time, Big House over the years has gotten Nintendo support.
Mm-hmm.
The Big House Online was like the first time they didn't have Nintendo support in years.
Yeah.
And
it's all good. You're good.
Yeah. So it's the first time they didn't have support in years, and like, just because they can't greenlight Slippy Online, I don't think like
they're not really getting as much out of it as if it was like an actual tournament, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that kind of sucks. With the whole COVID stuff, you know, everybody's affected by it, especially Nintendo. They had even like some production line issues this year, and it sucks that purely because we like esports is one of the like mode of content and like entertainment that has surpassed COVID, and like, you know, especially my favorite is like the Call of Duty League. Like they had on LAN leagues, you know, a new city every 2 weeks. Like 60 players would go out and play, or whatever, however many it was. And then COVID hit, shut everything down. They transitioned everything online, and it was perfect. Like Activision still helped. Obviously, it's a little different because it's like a, you know, $300 million league. But, you know, Activision supported everything. Online was still going on, and they still had like $4.6 million up for grabs at Champs compared to Smash.
Oh, like even Riot was running the Valorant stuff with First Strike, and even though that was a little messy because like people were like, I want the tournament to be double limb, but it ended up being single. Or in Europe, the qualifiers were best of one.
Yeah, that's a yikes.
That's a yikes in a different sense, but they still had a pretty good payout.
Mm-hmm.
I think First Strike was like what, 50K for the winner?
I think it was 50K. It was like 160K pot.
Yeah.
NA. I'm not sure about you.
It was the same for all of the
all the regions,
places, I believe. Yeah, and then they were also running the LCS.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
Like Worlds still had like a real big ass production and everything, and still, you know, all these other developers are doing so good. They're pushing their games. I mean, Nintendo's never done it from the beginning, so I honestly was not surprised that they decided to cut the cord now. So
I think it's more surprising that there's many instances where they're actively trying to stop tournaments instead of just being hands off.
Exactly. And that's honestly one of the sad parts about Smash. Like, in the past, it's just been hands off. You know, do whatever you want to do. Stream it. Make a tournament. Who cares? At the end of the day, just people are buying our games. It's free advertising.
Even in 2013, they shut down Evo when it raised, or they were going to shut down the Evo stream when it raised money for charity. And they only reverted the decision because of public outlash.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems like anything that a Nintendo sees that's like not exactly like for a good cause is like let go. So like a tournament where there's a winner and the winner gets money, they're fine with. But in your, like how you said, if there's a charity involved, if they can't stamp their own Nintendo name on it, they don't want it up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
it's sad, but it's how they run stuff.
Yeah. And it sucks. I wish Smash was in a better state. I wish Smash streaming was in a better state, and I just hope for the best when it comes to Nintendo's business practices when it comes to streaming their content. I know even other games like Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, people were putting that on YouTube and getting striked. Same thing with some of the Pokemon games like Sword and Shield. I think when they first came out, they were getting striked. I mean, it's like it's public content and stuff like that.
Back in Pokemon Sun and Moon, you couldn't even have like the special Z Crystal moves.
Exactly.
On the screen. Like you couldn't do the Mimikyu one, you couldn't do the Eevee one, or else you would get a copyright claim.
Yeah. I don't know why. I mean, there is some instances where, you know, that happens to other games when they purely just don't want you to like spoil it for people. But that's usually for like early release content creators. Like if they get The Last of Us 2 early and they're starting to upload it early, yeah, you can go ahead and upload it, but just wait until the game comes out so that, you know, other people can play it. My dog just came in. He's messing with people. Give me 1 sec.
Yeah, take your time.
All right. Never mind. He's good. But yeah, I just hope for the best when it comes to Smash and stuff like that, really. But yeah. Other than that, one of our last topics is YouTube versus Twitch. I know you've switched. I don't know if it's back and forth or forth and back.
I switched to YouTube and haven't looked back.
Definitely. Yeah, I know you switched one. I don't know if you switched back, but I'm glad you switched to YouTube. How do you like it?
So it's definitely a weird feeling. It's a lot harder to grow, especially when you're starting streaming and uploading around the same time. But I honestly feel like I prefer the tools on YouTube, and I prefer the terms of like YouTube streams, or like even like the copyright stuff. Like you still can't have copyrighted music, which is something Facebook is doing great.
Yeah, they have like the Facebook tunes or whatever.
Yeah, Facebook got some kind of deal with like Warner Brothers or something, or Sony Music.
I think it was Sony.
Yeah. So
that's pretty good.
There's a lot of stuff YouTube does wrong, but at least they're a little more clear than Twitch is, and at least they have a more mature platform.
Yeah, definitely. I know YouTube is definitely getting up there when it comes to the quality of like stream tools, and everything about that is like getting better. Fwiz, you know, he's the head of YouTube gaming right now, and he's doing a really good job when it comes to streaming. I think YouTube streaming is just gonna get bigger, to be completely honest. I streamed on YouTube for a little bit after Mixer, just because I didn't want to like mess my Twitch channel up so soon. But I definitely switched to YouTube for a little bit, and I kind of liked it. Like when it came to subscribing and stuff like that, it felt a lot more like a subscriber, like it's technically like a follow on any other site. Like a Twitch follow is equivalent to a YouTube subscriber. But when it comes to YouTube, your subscribers can also get access to your videos. They get push notifications for whatever, content you put out, compared to Twitch, where you're not really getting push notifications for a VOD being uploaded to your Twitch channel. So I definitely think YouTube is a good idea.
I also like the fact that YouTube supports higher bitrate streams.
That too. Definitely that too.
You can do 4K streaming if you really had like the
means
computer to handle it and the camera to do it. You could do 4K streaming because they support up to 60 megabit.
Wow, that's a lot compared to Twitch.
Yeah. I think Twitch only allows you like 6 megabit or something.
Yeah, something like that.
So YouTube has the better servers for it, and I think Twitch has a long way to go before they can even up the bitrate to 10,000, which is something that was supported by Mixer.
Yeah. That's one of the things I liked about Mixer too, but rest in peace.
Yeah, but I feel like in the next like 5 years, YouTube might be the way to go if you want more than just streaming.
Definitely. Yeah.
Because even like you can see with Valkyrie or Courage, they're popping off.
Yeah, their Social Blade is insane. Stream numbers, YouTube numbers is just crazy.
I think Valkyrie went from like 3,000 viewers when she first moved to YouTube to hitting 100K pretty consistently.
Definitely. Yeah.
And that's part from YouTube already having a larger audience, and part from the way they handle streaming.
Yeah. I think with platforms like even Mixer too, back when it was around, and Twitch especially, since it's just a streaming platform, or like originally it was just a streaming platform, they kind of like rested on their laurels a little bit when it came to like the usability and the quality of streams that people can make. They're kind of catering to the grander audience. Like some guy streaming off of his fucking PS4, has like 2 gigabit streaming possibilities, and they're like, okay, well, let's just max it out at 6 or 5 or whatever you said it was, and they're like, yeah, it'll just be okay, everybody can be streaming at this quality and stuff like that. And when it comes to mobile too, like the mobile quality is even worse.
You know what else with mobile? I don't get why mobile streaming on Twitch is delayed even more than it is on
desktop.
On desktop, because many times when I'm going into a YouTube stream on mobile, it's even ahead of my desktop stream.
Exactly. And I think it's
like
just
how is the Twitch platform saying
behind.
Like desktop streaming is the only way, and if you want, or desktop viewing is the only way, and if you want to do it on mobile, you're 30 seconds behind the desktop.
And I think it's just because
it's outrageous to me.
I guess like prioritize like mobile, like the mobile port of their service. Obviously, the YouTube app has been on the app stores since like 2012 or some crazy shit. Since it was around, really, 2007 stuff like that.
I think it was like 2007, 2008. It started.
Since YouTube has been around, it's been on mobile, and compared to Twitch.
Do you remember the old TV or the old YouTube icon on
like iPods
iPhone
and
stuff?
Yeah, it was literally like an old ass fucking tube TV type thing. It was like, what the fuck?
I had a TV like that in my living room when I had my first iPod Touch.
Yeah, I don't know why they did it that way, but that's how they did it. But yeah, I definitely see YouTube becoming, as weird as YouTube a platform is for video editors and video content creators, I think streaming on YouTube is going to get insanely high tech, and I'm just excited. I'm glad you're on the wave. I moved to Twitch just from Mixer because rest in peace Mixer, but I might, fuck around and go back to YouTube. We'll have to see, though.
Yeah.
Other than that, our last question of the podcast, which has been a great podcast, is who inspires you to create content the way that you do? I know you've kind of been me. It's been on the back foot, kind of like how you said a little bit earlier, but even in the past or looking forward, who inspires you to make content?
I have to say one inspiration that like made me want to do YouTube more was someone like Dark Viper AU.
I've never heard of him or her.
He's a GTA 5 speedrunner,
Mm.
and the way he does YouTube, which is actually very similar to someone like Ludwig,
Mhm.
he creates the content on his stream and then changes it. But the way he does it is that it's meant for YouTube a lot of the times.
Oh wow. So he's like
So
streaming a YouTube video.
yeah. So one of the things he did was pacifist percent. So the way you do speed running is that you have different categories. Something's like any percent where you just try to finish the game on
Mhm.
as fast as possible, or 100% where you
Get everything in the
try to
game.
get everything in the game and then finish. Where he did pacifist percent, which was finish the game as fast as possible without killing anyone in GTA 5.
Oh wow. That's crazy. That's
And
difficult.
and he would do the missions, he would be streaming the missions, and he would like narrate over a lot of the missions on YouTube and then cut in some of his live commentary from it too.
That's insane. That's like a crazy like editing process. I could only
He would
imagine.
spend like 80 hours or something crazy editing one video.
That's insane.
So like 80 hours editing for a mission that took him like 20 hours to do because of how many resets he had to do because he accidentally killed someone or the game wouldn't let him progress.
Without killing or doing some shit.
Or yeah, he had to try everything. And if he had to kill someone because it was a required thing to move on, then he had to say, screw it, I have to kill this guy. I tried every single thing to not kill him.
Definitely.
I definitely say that series great. And I think that made me want to do more like, oh, I can see this stream as a YouTube video.
Definitely.
I can see, oh, this is a good clip for this. But another person I have to say is a big inspiration is someone like, I want to say Nate Shot.
Mm-hmm. Nate Shot's
And
dope.
the way he it's not even the way he handles his content, it's the way he handles 100 Thieves.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing more of that content creation with the big like Valorant team there's a great content with that.
Yeah, definitely.
Or they have a series with their LCS team.
Mm-hmm. Like I think it's Run It Up or whatever it's called, but I know
Um
they always have cameras no matter what
Heist.
they do. The Heist.
It's
Yeah,
Heist
yeah.
with LCS. Yeah. And just seeing like for example with their Valorant team, they have like the big tournament video, then they had like an Aim Labs video of them just
Messing around.
trying to beat each other in that. And then they have the big tournament video. And then they have them reading comments, shit talking them.
Yeah. I definitely enjoy like the esports centered content. I think that's probably my favorite content on all of YouTube or Twitch or Twitter or anything like that. Like, I mean, I can watch like a Tom Syndicate video, him in his house playing fucking Minecraft or whatever he's doing nowadays. But like, being able to capture a moment like the 100T team winning first strike and you're like busting the door with like 6 different cameras, you're seeing them like real emotions from people that like really put a lot of time and effort into their craft. Is just, I think it's like the most rewarding content you can make or watch.
I think if you're an organization in 2021 and you're not making content with any of your professional teams, you're just stupid.
Definitely.
That's easy content.
Literally easy. Everybody wants to know what the fuck Scump is doing. Everybody wants to know what the fuck, you know,
Wardell,
Samsora, even in like other games.
Yeah, Samsora or like Mango is a big Smash like
content creator.
pro who's big in the content.
Yeah. And he's even playing Valorant. He said, "Fuck Smash, I'm out of here."
he played Valorant when it was
like super early.
starting, but he quit after like Killjoy came or something.
Yeah.
He hasn't played Valorant in a while, at least on stream.
Mhm.
He plays a lot of CS though, in like the night ones.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. I definitely
That's what
think that
I've also
you're
been playing a good amount of CS. I feel like CS versus Valorant,
don't
the
say
shots you
CS.
hit in CS feel so much better, but in Valorant, the plays feel so much better. Like
Definitely.
having a cipher trip and cage to lurk in, dropping down on someone's head and shooting right at him.
Yeah.
That stuff is way more fun.
Yeah. I think.
Whereas if I'm opping in CS, satisfying.
Yeah. Definitely more satisfying. I think it's just because it's like the real world esque game compared to like a cartoony, like League of Legends first person type game.
Yeah.
But definitely enjoy. I think we're kind of very similar like that. Where we really enjoy like the esports centered content as well as just like really putting time and effort into what you really enjoy. And I think that's one of the things that you inspired me with streaming. You would stream a shit ton, you would play a shit ton, and you would like all of your gaming and like gaming content was good. Like you were not ever shit at Smash, and that's just natural. And I took a big
To say the move to online tournaments, that killed my competitive drive in Smash.
yeah. I can see
Holy
that.
crap, is Ultimate Online garbage.
Mm-hmm. It's always been bad.
It's so terrible.
Yeah, I don't know how people do it anymore, especially. But I'm glad that they have like emulators now, like for Melee and stuff like that, where it's like all online, so it's at least a little bit better. But like obviously, it doesn't have like the funding for a good server.
Dude, Melee Online, if you're under 60 ping, it feels like LAN.
Yeah,
Slippy Online feels like LAN under 60 ping to me.
and that's crazy. I'm glad that it's getting that good.
Yeah.
If only
If
Ultimate could do
only
this.
if only a team of however many developers they have at Nintendo could replicate what one guy did in 6 months.
Exactly. Imagine the possibilities are endless.
If only. If only a team of professional developers could do the same thing as Fizzy.
Yeah.
That's just a dream though. You can't really do that.
Definitely. Yeah. Well, hopefully things get better. Thank you so much, Shotty, for stopping by the podcast. His Twitch, his Twitter will be down in the description. His Instagram, I don't know if you want me to put that on there, but I'll put it on there if you want.
Instagram, Twitter, YouTube.
YouTube.
That's what
Not
I'm
Twitch
on.
anymore. YouTube.
Yeah.
And you don't even have a TikTok, do you? No, not TikTok.
TikTok is a platform that I will never get.
I was like that too, and then I started getting some views, and now.
Or I'm not saying like I won't download the app. I'm saying I wouldn't be able to get
Yeah.
like what content is good for that.
Yeah.
I don't have the mindset for that. I'm a Zoomer, but I don't have the Zoomer mindset.
Definitely. Well,
Yeah.
thank you again. I appreciate you for stopping by. Guys, go make sure to check out Shotty's content. His links will be down in the first link or the first line of the description below. Thank you, Shotty, and thank you guys. We'll catch you guys next one. Peace. You got to say peace, Shotty.
Oh, I have to say peace?
Yeah, you do.
Peace.
All right.